It's Sunday, November 10, 2019. Welcome to LCJ Live. I'm Lights Camera Jackson. Coming up, more of my thoughts on Martin Scorsese's The Irishman. We will preview the new movies opening up this weekend, like Ford v Ferrari, Good Liar, and Charlie's Angels, and a movie I watched last night called The Report, and so much more. But we gotta get to the box office. As always, you can send in your questions, your comments here on LCJ Live. If you are a betting man, and you bet on the box office this weekend, you gotta be spooked, because I don't know what happened. And I say what happened in a positive way in some cases, and in a negative way in other cases. Because this weekend's box office is nuts. This is not how I expected it to go, not how many people expected it to go. I am pleased for a film like Midway, which is the #1 movie in America with $17.5 million. Now, it makes sense if Midway won the 4-day weekend, because tomorrow is Veterans Day. But the fact that it easily won the 3-day weekend, nobody saw coming. $17.5 million for the World War II action drama from director Roland Emmerich. It's a good film with a good, firm cast. You've got Patrick Wilson, Woody Harrelson, Mandy Moore, Dennis Quaid, one of my favorite actors. Yeah, it is a good film. It honors the material, the people really nicely, and it handles the material really well. Did I think it was going to win the weekend? No, because I thought Dr. Sleep was easily going to win the weekend and make like $20 to $30 million, maybe even more. It ended up in second place this weekend with $14.1 million. To that I say, what happened? What happened here? Here's what I'm thinking. Okay, last week we had those, well, like almost 2 weeks ago now, we had those Fandango early showings. It is not clear whether those Fandango early showings were put into the 14 million. My guess is they are, which makes the situation even crazier. This is a 2.5-hour movie. Maybe people thought going in, it's too long. Maybe there just aren't a lot of Shining fans, or the Stephen King phenomenon from this year. We already had Pet Sematary, which really didn't make a lot of money. We already had It Chapter 2. Did people think, why do we need another one? But this is a well-made, a really well-made, and a very well-received by most of the critics out there film that honors the original Shining film really well, but also has a lot of new things to say and answers a lot of questions people have had for 39 years. Ewan McGregor, I think one of the most underrated actors out there, is fantastic. I don't know what happened. Were people just not interested in this at all? Maybe they weren't, but it's a great film and you gotta see it. And if you're a diehard Shining fan and you didn't see it this weekend or you haven't seen it yet, what are you waiting for? Give this movie some money. I'm very surprised. I think Warner Brothers is very surprised. They were expecting to easily be #1 this weekend. Right now they are shaking their heads going, what did we do wrong? Seriously, they're wondering, what did we do wrong? Last weekend, they had a bomb in Motherless Brooklyn. They do have The Good Liar coming out next weekend, which I do not think will be #1, so they are really scratching their heads. They thought, out of these 3 in a row, we have to win with Dr. Sleep, and that did not happen. And it's not like, Midway overperformed and Dr. Sleep did well. Dr. Sleep didn't win, and it didn't do well. They are really questioning things right now. A studio that is having a good and a bad day. I'll start with the negative, because Paramount Terminator Dark Fate was #1 last weekend with 29 million. It dropped to 5th this weekend with 10.8 million. That is a huge drop. This Terminator film is not doing all that well. What the positive is for Paramount is that their new film, their last film of 2019, they got nothing else coming, called Playing with Fire. It's the new family movie with John Cena. Came in 3rd this weekend with $12.8 million. I don't think they expected #1 that it would be the 3rd biggest movie of the weekend, that it would make as much money as it did, and that it would beat Last Christmas, which came in 4th this weekend with $11.6 million, and that is Universal's new holiday rom-com. I saw Last Christmas yesterday. I'll give you my take on it in a little bit, but I have to say I walked out of Last Christmas, and just about the same time the showing of Playing with Fire was getting out, at least 100, if not maybe 150 people, all pretty much families, walking out of that showing. There were like 20 people in my showing of Last Christmas, and there were 150 coming out of Playing with Fire. That was a clue to me that this film had a huge, bounce back on Saturday. It did okay on Friday, but a huge bounce back yesterday, and certainly making some money today. Bob Hall, very weak weekend. They are upset for sure. Yeah, that refers to Dr. Sleep. But Paramount is celebrating today. Even though Terminator isn't doing that well, they did not expect Playing with Fire to make this kind of money. So, you think, oh, $12.8 million is not a lot. Well, for a film like that I don't know. It doesn't look so hot. And hot, I emphasize, because of fire. I haven't seen it yet, but I think they're pleasantly surprised with how Playing with Fire is done. But here's the thing. John Cena is a huge influence right now on Nickelodeon. He's on a bunch of different shows, including as the host of the Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader revival. So this is a Nickelodeon Paramount movie, so all the ads and all the airtime that has led up to this, it paid off. So, you know what? Congrats to Paramount and to Nick on that. I'm pleased for them. Universal scratching their heads a little bit when it comes to Last Christmas, which I'm sure they thought was at least going to beat Playing with Fire, maybe even have beaten Midway, but it turned out Midway did really well. So Last Christmas in fourth, $11.6 million. This is the new holiday romantic dramedy, and I emphasize the drama part of the dramedy, with Emilia Clarke, Henry Golding, Michelle Yeoh, and Emma Thompson, who also co-wrote the movie. So I saw this yesterday. In its own little universe, Last Christmas is a perfectly okay film. But it's got some story issues and some comedy issues and some tone issues that I had with it. And there's some things that happen towards the end that if you really want to go into this movie and not know much, I say don't read stuff online, just go, because there's a lot of people right now writing articles about the final 20 minutes or so of this film. So just go in and go see it and experience it for yourself if you want to. Do I think it's going to be an all-time holiday classic? It's a tough call. It's a tough call because I think it could have gone deeper and actually been a real statement piece. And even though some things happen towards the end that are a little unexpected, I still think it could have been more powerful, even more unique, even more different, and it doesn't go the extra mile. It's surprisingly tame in a sense, again, in its own little universe. And you got to kind of experience it in order to do that. Bob Hall says Parasite has big Oscar buzz. Yes, Parasite making more money, made another $2.5 million this weekend, and it has huge Oscar buzz. You know, we are now less than 3 months away from the Academy Awards. It is the earliest Oscars ever. I think that should be a hashtag. Hashtag earliest Oscars ever. It is Sunday, Feb 9. We are less than 3 months away. And between now and then, every Sunday right here on LCJ Live, we'll give you the latest awards analysis and things on the way. Less than 2 weeks away from the Independent Spirit Awards nominations. So there is a lot to come. So we will get to more of that. So again, your top four. It is Midway, Dr. Sleep, Playing with Fire, and Last Christmas. If you want my Last Christmas review, go to the website, lights-camera-jackson.com. Terminator in fifth, Joker in sixth with another $9.2 million. This is just a phenomenon right now. Maleficent made another $8 million. Harriet did pretty well second weekend, $7.3 million. So let's see, that's sixth for that. I don't think I'm missing anything. When I get to the end here, the 10th position, the 9th position looks like it's going to be Zombieland, and the 10th position could either go to Addams Family or Jojo Rabbit. The money's not quite out for Addams Family yet, so we're not entirely sure, but Jojo Rabbit may finally have gotten into the top 10 this weekend. As I posted on Twitter yesterday, this is the movie that has the better Scarlett Johansson performance this year than Marriage Story. And The Report definitely has the better Adam Driver performance than Marriage Story. I watched The Report last night. It is a new Amazon Studios drama coming to select theaters Friday, going to Amazon Prime Video on November 29th. This is based on the true story of the investigation into the CIA of their use of interrogation tactics like waterboarding post 9/11. This is a film that's surprisingly easy to follow and has great performances. Adam Driver is game, and Annette Bening as Senator Dianne Feinstein is fantastic. Annette Bening could get a Best Supporting Actress Academy Award nomination for her performance. It would be Oscar nomination number 5. Do you know she's lost twice to Hilary Swank? Yeah. So you've got Annette Bening in that race. I think she could be a nominee for Supporting Actress. I'll have more of my thoughts on The Report later today when I post my review at lights-camera-jackson.com. No shade, LCJ, but you're the only person I've seen hate Marriage Story. Everybody else raves about it. I've heard a couple other critics have not liked it as well. It is just over the top. It is goofy. It is ridiculous. Laura Dern's character, oh my gosh, it is an uncomfortable experience, and it's awkwardly made, and it's way too preachy, and it's way too cheesy, and it tries way too hard to be funny and to get you to be emotional with it. No. Marriage Story, no. There is another Netflix movie out right now, though, that is getting a lot of attention, and it is The Irishman. Now, I saw The Irishman on Tuesday in New York City, because it's in select theaters right now. It goes everywhere on Netflix on the 27th. Al Pacino. Wow. Al Pacino is amazing as Jimmy Hoffa. He's got to get a Best Supporting Actor nomination, maybe even win. He is fantastic. Joe Pesci's great, too. De Niro's great. Anna Paquin. There's a lot of good supporting work. Nice to see Ray Romano in something for the first time in a little while. But there's nothing in that 3.5 hours, I am sorry to say, there is nothing that makes you go, wow. There's nothing that makes you get excited. Move out of your chair. I was basically, I moved around a little bit. It's 3.5 hours. But I was basically in the same position in my chair for 3.5 hours. I didn't really perk up. I didn't really go, I didn't, none of that. You just kind of sit there and watch. You're into it, but you want to be thoroughly in it. And I couldn't get there with The Irishman because Scorsese drags some things on too long. He does some technical things that take you out of it. Couldn't quite get there with The Irishman. But again, see it for the performances. Watch it for the performances. And if you got an older family member who's a diehard De Niro or Pacino or Scorsese fan who doesn't have Netflix and can't see it in a theater, bring over your laptop to them over the holidays if you got Netflix. Watch it with them. Have them watch it. Pause it when they need to use the bathroom during the 3.5 hours. Give them something because they're going to watch on the Oscars this film get a bunch of nominations, I'm sure, and they're going to go, I love all these actors and these people involved. I had no way of seeing the movie, so how can I identify with it being nominated for the Oscars and truly appreciate their performances and appreciate the film itself? So I say, if you have parents or grandparents who don't have access to Netflix, or anybody in your family, really, give them that chance. Give them that chance with a film like The Irishman this year over the holidays. I think it'll do you a lot of good. So that's my little PSA for the day right here on LCJ Live. I got 2 cars here. I'll call this one Ford, and I'll call this one Ferrari. Or maybe the Ferrari because it's a little flashier, this one, and this one Ford. Yeah, you got Ford v Ferrari this week. I'm so looking forward to this movie. It is 2.5 hours, but I feel like it's going to fly. I hope it will. It's Matt Damon, it's Christian Bale. They are both going for lead actor nominations. Neither one of them decided to go supporting. We'll see how that turns out. Also out this week is Charlie's Angels. I don't think it's going to do all that well. I really don't. The buzz is not strong. Everybody I talked to is like, did we need another Charlie's Angels? So that's out this week. Also The Good Liar, which is Helen Mirren and Ian McKellen, 2 of our finest actors. What has me concerned is that The Good Liar is not on Warner Brothers for your consideration site. They got Richard Jewell. They even got the Bruce Springsteen documentary. But they don't have The Good Liar on there. And that leads me to believe that this may not be an awards player for either of them, or a huge movie or a great movie. But I'm going in with an open mind, so I'm definitely going to be seeing Good Liar and Ford v Ferrari this week, along with some other award season contenders. I hope we are getting to that time of year. Frozen 2 is on the way. Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood is on the way, and Knives Out. They're all basically coming out next weekend because 2 weekends from now because Knives Out's doing those early shows. There's a lot to look forward to. And again, we are now less than 3 months away from the Academy Awards. Crazy, right? The earliest Oscars ever. I do want to mention I also saw an animated movie the other night, which is called Away. And wow, this movie, it's an animated film. It's 75 minutes and was made by one guy. His name is Gintz, and it is tremendous. It's a tremendous achievement. The story is fascinating. It's about a young boy who basically ends up on this island and he has to get off. And there's some deep psychological stuff going on, but the fact that this guy wrote it, directed it, edited it, and animated the whole thing is amazing. Away is one of the 32 animated movies submitted for this year's Best Animated Feature Academy Award. We'll see if it ends up on the ballot. I mean, I'm thinking maybe even at least for the Annie Awards, they're going to give him some love, because to make an animated film, for one guy to do it, it's just incredible. And to have it be a good quality movie, too. That is incredible. So, yeah. Congrats to him on Away. I hope to talk to him soon. I've been doing some more interviews. Got some more interviews lined up this week. Also, my interview with the Klaus director. That's on the website right now. And the I Lost My Body director. These are 2 animated movies from Netflix. That is going to be up tomorrow at animationscoop.com and at lights-camera-jackson.com. I just don't want to forget any movies that I've seen in the last week. Didn't like The Laundromat. I posted that on Twitter. I cannot talk about Dark Waters quite yet because that review is embargoed until Wednesday. But it is Mark Ruffalo. It is Anne Hathaway. Tim Robbins is in it. Bill Pullman. Some other people are in it for a little bit of time. And this comes out, limited on the 22nd and nationwide on December 6th. Dark Waters from Focus Features. Is it worth seeing? Is Mark Ruffalo going to get his 4th, I believe, Academy Award nomination? Well, you're going to have to wait for my rapid review on that, which will be posted this Wednesday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. The studios have a lot of specific embargoes when it comes to when everybody can post the reviews. Some of them can be a little quirky, a little odd, but the one for Dark Waters is this Wednesday at 5 o'clock. All right, so next week we'll talk about how Ford v Ferrari did along with Charlie's Angels and Good Liar, how that top 3 is going to shake up to be. I'm sure it's going to be Ford v Ferrari number 1, probably Charlie's Angels number 2, and then Good Liar, but we'll have to see. That 2 and 3 could flip depending on how many people go see those movies. And we will certainly talk more about some big awards movies and preview how Frozen's going to do. Now, I have a new blog piece at lights-camera-jackson.com. I'm thinking Frozen 2 is not going to do as well as Disney hopes. And I got 4 reasons why. Read them on the website, lights-camera-jackson.com. Of course, follow me on Twitter at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LightsCamJackson for more. I'm Lights Camera Jackson. Thanks for watching LCJ Live, your go-to source for breaking box office news, entertainment news, and award season coverage. My Critics' Choice deadline is just a few weeks away, December 6th. Got to see a lot more big movies before then. We will see what happens. See you back here next Sunday. And to all our military service people out there, we salute you. Happy Veterans Day. Go see Midway if you haven't already tomorrow on Veterans Day. I'm LCJ. Bye-bye, everybody.